Papa. You know Papa?
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it prickles.
Watch Johnny's bite.
Bismillahir Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Today is a special birthday of my big sister, Harriet Theresa Hughes. She turns 56 today. So happy birthday to you, Sister Harriet. And we pray that you live long and stay strong. Happy birthday to you, big sister Harriet. Also this morning, I want to say happy birthday to Manini Mani, one of our regular and ardent viewers who also shares our content, Emmanuel Boyle Lajeko, Nanaya Osei Dakwa of the Green Republic, and all of you celebrating your birthday, Reverend Father Emmanuel Obedkwa as well. This morning, I say also congratulations to Chief Superintendent Jennifer Bola, coordinator of DOFSU at Bachona. I'm told that you are very excellent in your job. And these are people who have encountered you on the job, people that you do not know. Chief Superintendent Jennifer Bola of the Bachona, DOFSU, Ghana Police Service. They are applauding you. And so when you do good work, the people will come and tell us what you have done. If you do bad, they are the same people who come and tell us what you have done. And we will not fail telling the whole world what exactly it is that is happening. Now, the Electoral Commission of the Republic of Ghana yesterday made a U-turn after they had insisted that they were not going to allow the political parties to have observers at the places where votes were being transferred. The first question that came to me when I saw that thing signed by Dr. Bosman Asari, and yesterday the U-turn was signed by another person, not by the same individual who signed it in the beginning. When I saw that statement, I said, why is the Electoral Commission flip-flopping? That's the first question that came to me. Why is the Electoral Commission flip-flopping? Because the subsequent yesterday's statement suggests that in the name of transparency. And I said that when the party said that they wanted their reps to be there, was it also not in the name of transparency, in the interest of transparency? So this flip-flopping, which we are seeing too regularly and frequently from the EC, is very, very worrying indeed. So if the NDC had not spoken up and other civil society organizations had not spoken up and said that, no, we will not take it, the EC would not have done the U-turn. So whose bidding really is the Electoral Commission doing? That you can observe every other process of the Electoral Commission, but when it comes to vote transfer, you cannot observe it. Was that what the Electoral Commission meant? That you can observe everything from registration, you can go and observe, from exhibition of the voter register, you can go and observe, from the election proper, you can go and observe, but when it comes to the transfer of votes, you cannot observe. What was the Electoral Commission really thinking when they made that directive? And you see, Kodeo stood with the Electoral Commission. So now that the Electoral Commission had made a U-turn, Mr. Ahin, good morning to you and your team. Will Kodeo also do a U-turn? So that it gives us the impression that Kodeo is stuck with the Electoral Commission and not really being independent as the people would think. That's what somebody asked me yesterday. That is Kodeo the second wing of the Electoral Commission, or is Kodeo really independent? Somebody asked that question yesterday. Because when the Electoral Commission says, we will not allow you to come and observe the process, Kodeo says, we back the directive of the Electoral Commission. Now the Electoral Commission has done you a goinch. So will Kodeo now also do a U-turn? It's a question to Kodeo. It is a big question to Kodeo. What informed Kodeo's decision to say we support the Electoral Commission? What informed the decision? And now that the Electoral Commission has come back to do a U-turn, will Kodeo also do a U-turn? Because Kodeo gives reasons in support of what the Electoral Commission had said. So now, will Kudeo do a U-turn? That's the first question. Now, there's an appeal that has been made by John Dumelo, actor John Dumelo, who is now a politician. He's now the NDC's candidate for Ayawaso West Wogon constituency in the Greater Accra region. And you know, I had raised the concerns, and many others have raised the concern or had raised the concern when the registration exercise was ongoing. Because Accra is not Ghana. Kumasi alone is not Ghana. Takrady alone is not Ghana. Ho alone is not Ghana. Tamale alone is not Ghana. There are people who have to travel 2-3 hours to get to the district offices of the Electoral Commission. There are people who have not enough money to feed, right? So their first preoccupation is what to eat. But they also have the right as Ghanaians to vote. Please find me John Dumelo's video. They have the right to vote. And in that right to vote, they have to be registered to be put on the electoral roll to be able to exercise that franchise. Now here we are. As of the last registration, there were people who just couldn't afford to transport themselves to the district offices to register. There were people who couldn't leave their jobs because if they left it for a day or two and they didn't go to work, they stood the possibility of being sacked or they could lose their livelihood forever. So the question that was asked, and which still stands, is why did the Electoral Commission not decentralize the process so that the Electoral Commission will be closer to the people so that people can actually get a chance to register, to exercise their rights and their franchise come the 7th of December 2024? Has that action by the Electoral Commission to only hold the registration process at the district offices, has that disenfranchised people? It is possible that it has, given the reasons that I have enumerated earlier. So now here's John Dumelo. He has vested interest in the forthcoming elections. He makes an appeal to the Electoral Commission. Listen to him.
Good evening. I just hope that this video gets to the Electoral Commissioner, Madam Jean Mensah. I just want to plead with her that we just have about 10 more days to go in terms of the voter transfer exercise. And there are thousands of students currently on Legon campus, on Gimpa campus, on Unimac campus, on Nasford campus, on UPSA campus, who have not transferred their votes because on the 7th of December, they will be on campus. And these students registered when they were in secondary school back in Cape Coast, in Kumasi, in Tamale, and so on and so forth. And they want to transfer their votes. Now, the district office is at Ridge. They have classes from 7:30 in the morning. They close at 9. They have another one from 11. They'll close around 2 or 3. They cannot come to the district office at the EC, at Ridge. They can't. And even when they come there, there's a long queue. Even when they do set a different machine aside, there's still a long queue. And so I'm pleading that the Electoral Commissioner and the Electoral Commission, please, just bring a machine to campus so that the students can transfer their votes. And you see the number of students who are willing to transfer their votes and vote on December 7th. And so I'm pleading, please. The students cannot come to Ridge. They can't come to Ridge because it's far. There's traffic, they have lectures, they have assignments, they have IAs, they have so many things. And so I'm pleading, please, Madam Jane Mensah, I beg you, please just bring the machines on campus, even if it's for 4 or 5 days. We are pleading and we are begging. I beg you in the name of God. Thank you so much and have a good evening.
That's John Seto Dumelo. He's an interested party in this election. And he has made this appeal. And I'm sure many other members of parliament, if you go to the Ashanti region, to KNUST, if you go to other technical universities across the country and other schools, I'm sure they have similar concerns. So the Electoral Commission, good morning to you. This is an appeal that has been made in order for people not to be disenfranchised, because there are people who genuinely want to go and vote. Whether they want to vote for party A or party B, that's their own choice. But there are people who want to go out and vote. And if you check under the stream now, there are people who are saying that they have been disenfranchised because they didn't have the time to go and register in the first place. Now they have to transfer their votes. And the legitimate claim being made is that there are people who are now in level 100 who registered back then when they were in school. level 200, who registered back then when they were in school, and they have not had the opportunity to transfer their votes. This year, when the voting happens, according to John, the students will be in school. So should we consider them or should we not consider them? I leave it to the best thinking of the Electoral Commission and to IPAC if they have to strongly suggest that. Now, last week I spoke about the State Transport Corporation, Intercity State Transport Corporation. Yesterday I spoke about them and their grievances that had been raised by the senior engineer staff of the STC. Well, the STC has issued a statement in response to some, not all of the issues, to some of the issues. We have also been told that there's going to be a board meeting on Thursday, but this is the full statement. In accordance with the Audi Alteram Partem rule of journalism, I read in full for you. Union petitions and matters arising at ISTC, that's Interstate State Transport Corporation or Company. Our attention has been drawn to media reports on Intercity STC Coaches Limited. We noticed these reports have come from a petition or letter but the union or by the union leadership addressed to the ISTC board on subject matter of the appointment of a new deputy managing director to ISTC. We comment on the issues raised in the union petition or letter as follows. 1. Arrears on workers' provident contribution have dated from the 2011, that is 14 years ago. The arrears have progressively been reduced to 4 years. This 4 years arrears have been largely due to the COVID-19 difficult operating environment. 2. SNIT arrears have dated, right? The SNIT arrears have dated from 2013. STC is now current on monthly payments. The arrears have also been reduced to a little over 4 million cedis. 3. The STC bus fleets are aged 9 years for the Scania fleet and 5 years for the Daewoo fleet. By the norms of intercity long-distance travel standards, they are overage, hence the frequent and prolonged visit to the workshop. They are due to be replaced. The company is currently making every effort to replace the entire fleet. 2 delegations are leaving shortly for China and Turkey to conclude arrangements for the new fleet. 4. The STC debt to ADB has been reduced from 140 million to 80 million. STC pays 2 million monthly to ADB. The ISTC board will meet the union leaders on Thursday, the 6th of June 2024, to resolve the workers' anxieties over the new appointment, which has occasioned the petition. Anita Abakasika is the public relations officer of the STC. Keep the notice there. You will notice, first of all, that the senior engineer staff, they raised questions about the SNIT, Provident Fund, and Tier 2. The statement and response from the STC has not addressed the issues of Tier 2, which is why I said the STC responded to some of the concerns raised. Number 2, if you look at paragraph 4, it says the ADB debt has been reduced from 140 million to 80 million. The question I ask is it true that the debt was restructured because STC for a long time could not pay, and that it was just sometime last week, Friday, that this restructuring was done, where the 140 million was dropped to 82 million, and the STC is quick to put it in a press release? And would the STC have given us this state of affairs if we hadn't spoken about it? Now, 3, a conversation about the Scania buses and the Daewoo buses. If you notice, the Scania buses are 9 years old. The Daewoo buses are only 5 years old. The Scania buses are 9 years old. And I told you that the Scania buses came with spare parts. The Daewoo buses did not come with spare parts. These are the workers themselves telling us. And they are scared that there could be job losses. They are very scared. So it is not about trying to explain away the issues, but confronting the issues head on. You know why I'm talking about these issues? There's a table. There's a table that shows monies that SNIT have or places that SNIT has invested into. That's the 2021 Auditor General's report, right? Which was published in 2022. Put the table up there. unlisted companies that have not paid dividends for the past 10 years. Unlisted companies that you and I, our SNIT contributions, that is deducted every single year, month on month, has been invested to. These companies, as of 2021, which was reported in 2022 by the Auditor General, have not paid a peso. If you read it, say name of institution or investee, sector, year of investment, current value of company as of 31st of December 2020, SNIT's share of the current value, percentage of shareholding, and then they talk about amount invested up to date, last financial year dividend was received, return on equity. So they collect your money and they sink it into these businesses. And they get over the last 10 years, as of 2021, they have paid zero. I'm talking about Golden Beach Services, hotel services. I'm talking about Kumasi Abattoir Company Limited. I'm talking about CDH, it's a financial service. I'm talking about Accra Abattoir Limited. I'm talking about Bayport Financial Service Limited. I'm talking about Trust Logistics. I'm talking about STC. I'm talking about Africa World Airlines. I'm talking about SNIT. I'm talking about Metro Mass Transit Limited. And you see, in the case of STC, if you drill down to STC, right? Come down to STC, we owe 80% of the shares as SNIT contributors and members of SNIT in the business of STC. And that is where the passion to talk about comes from. Because if 80% of my money, no matter how small my contribution is being pushed into a business, and the business over the past 10 years had declared no dividend, do you know what that means? I will be sitting somewhere thinking that the deduction is being made in my name and securing my future. Whereas that contribution that I've made and the business investment that has been made is actually not bringing me anything. So I will be working like a bull, working every day, walking through the rain like I did today to come to work, contributing to SNIT, and SNIT will be investing my money in things like this and nothing will be coming out of it. And you say I should not talk? And you say if I talk, it means that I am against the government? And you say that when other people talk, they are against the government? It is for all of us. It is our future. Look at it. Metro Mass, we owe 11. We have 11.67% of the shares for 10 years. Nothing. All these companies, Africa World, we have 10% shares in it for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Bring back the letter from the notice from STC. The STC said they are going to where? Is it India or China? They are going to Asia, right? They are going to China and Turkey to go and find buses. Were we not in this country when Mr. Carlos Ahinkras, Deputy Minister for Trade, went to Neoplan, the one at Achimota? You remember when they said they wanted to shut down? And this government promised us that they were going to revamp Neoplan to start producing the buses and assembling the buses that they used to have. Were you not in this country? Since 2021, when that promise was made, has Neoplan gotten the revamp that they're supposed to get? I'm asking a simple question. There's been Alan Tremantin at the Trade Ministry. There's now KT Hammond at the Trade Ministry. Since that promise was made, has Neoplan received a peso? Our own Neoplan, has it received a peso? Today we want buses. We are going to China and Turkey. And somebody will get 10%. Today we want buses for our STC, and we are going to China and Turkey. Look, there's a union chairman's video. Play for me. Yesterday I spoke with him here. Play the video for me. The workers obviously will not be happy knowing that the is in arrears. Their provident fund is in arrears, and then their tier 2 is also in arrears. That's not good for the workers and their morale. What is the morale like at STC as we speak?
It's very, 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 the workers' morale is very down. That we are very, very sad.
We will see hostesses or stewards well suited in your traditional colors, they will wear suits and they will wear nice Glengarry, and they will serve people on the coaches, and internet, Wi-Fi connection and charging of our phones, etc. will be a normal thing. Is that happening?
Currently, it's not happening. No, that's the truth that we are told.
This is Yao Anana. He's the union staff, the senior staff union chairman. He says the situation in the company is very dire. So it's not a question of explaining it away. Now back to the tier 2 conversation. The STC statement was loudly silent on the tier 2 contributions. And for those who don't understand, let me tell you how tier 2 works. So the company you work for, right, pays 13% of SNIT contribution for you. 5.5% of your own money from your basic salary is now deducted, which will then become tier 2. So there's tier 1, which your company pays. Tier 2 is you, to secure your future. So when you add the 13 plus the 5.5%, it becomes 18.5%. And then they do the 13.5 goes in, and then, the 5 point, as for the 5% is yours. So each time you receive your money at the end of the month, know that some 5.5% of your money has been deducted in addition to what your company is supposed to pay for you. Now, if you have a situation where tier 2 has not been paid, and the tier 2 conversation cuts across, the tier 2 conversation cuts across the judicial service. The tier 2 conversation cuts across all the 10 technical universities in the country. The tier 2 conversation cuts across STC. It cuts across Metro Mass. The tier 2 conversation. Maybe you have to now go and check with SNIT or whoever is managing your tier 1 and tier 2. Go and ask them whether your employers are paying. If you work in a state-owned enterprise, go and ask them. Check your statement. Because it is possible that monies are being deducted and they are not paid. And then the question you ask is, if such monies are being deducted, including within the 18.5% mix, there's a portion that goes to NHIS. That's why if you have a SNIT card, NHIS, registration is easier for you and way cheaper for you. Because you're a member. Right? And even NHIS is owed 2.4 billion. Even they are owed 2.4 billion. And I said the tier 2 conversation, it runs across. It runs across. We will wrap up with this. Tomorrow we'll come back. I will give you some more detail. There's a man who is a Muslim, right? He's wearing a very nice Islamic clothing. He spoke about the truth. What the Prophet, peace be on his name, what he said. That's what we are wrapping up with. Play for me. Call me 055 924 2717.